15 of Starry Bandit Comics' top 3 new comic book covers of the week. We're going to get right into it. So first, we're going to do an honorable mention. We actually have 2 honorable mentions today. The first one is both because it's a fun cover, but also just for the comic itself. All right. So first one is The Lucky Devils, #1. All right. This is written by Charles Soule, art by Ryan Brown. You might know this duo from 8 Billion Genies. They're back doing a new comic, original story. I actually got to meet Charles Soule at Tripicon this year, and he talked about doing something with Ryan, and I thought that was interesting. And then he actually did a podcast also, the comic book club podcast, where he talked about doing this comic. And so interested in reading it. I look forward to seeing what they cook up this time. Second honorable mention is because it was very close to the top 3, and I felt like I just had to give it at least a little bit of love. So, #2 honorable mention is All New Venom #2. This is by Davide Paratore, and it is just a very cool cover. So kind of nasty and creative, and I love the colors and like the almost electricity of the saliva on his tongue. Now, All New Venom, it follows, it's a little bit of a mystery about who All New Venom really is inside. It's one of 4 people, and Dylan Brock is trying to figure out who it is. So keep an eye on that one. Great cover. Okay, next up, we have our top 3 new comic book covers of the week. #3, we have Magic. #1, David Nakayama variant. Now I'm going to tell you what made me decide to pick this one over the Venom, which I like for very different reasons. Really, the main reason is the glow of Magic's sword. It like literally looks like somehow it's lit up on the comic. The like effect of the light source like shining off of Magic's face on her hand and the handle of the blade. It's such a cool decision. It's into the ground. Magic is such an awesome character. She's very interesting, powerful, beautiful, and ruler of the underworld, really. And it's just it's really cool. It's also a little bit of a Taylor Swift homage, we'll say. Do you see it? I definitely see it. But #3, Magic #1, I'm super interested in this series as well. I think it's the theme today is I really want to read all of these comics. So I guess the resolution was fitting as doing it this week. All right. #2, top new comic book cover of the week, according to Starry Bandit Comics. Just me. We have Amazing Spider-Man #65, Marvel Rivals variant. This is kind of embarrassing, but it's by NetEase Games. It's like, obviously NetEase Games as a company isn't the artist who drew this, right? It's kind of silly if you ask me. Unless they have some AI that's like drawing these, which I really don't think is the case. This cover is just so fun. I love how dynamic Spider-Man is in the forefront, And like the storyboarding / comic book panels in the back, the color in the front, the black and white in the back sketch. It's such a neat cover. It really caught my eye in the store. I didn't order this one. I ended up picking it up in addition to my weekly comics because I just thought the cover was great. I have played Marvel Rivals just a couple times. I suck, and I'm still a little confused at how people are good at the game. Not that, I think Fortnite is the best game in the world, but I play that with my son quite a bit. And even like, I can't run, I can't like crouch in Marvel Rivals. It just feels very like, I don't know, incomplete maybe. But obviously, as I'm playing and getting smoked, other people know how to play better than I do. So, I don't know. I'm probably not going to get that much better, but I love the cover. All right. And last, I trim my nails so it's not as loud. There it is. The number 1 top new comic book cover of the week. We have Absolute Batman number 4 by Francesco Francavilla or Francavilla. I guess there's this theme a little bit as to what's great about covers this week. This one, the glow of Gotham underneath Batman just makes the comic book cover. The contrast of the orange and the blue, which I know is a little bit of a cliche. There's like all those like posts and videos about when you put orange with blue, thinking about Blade Runner 2049, just it often is a little overused. We'll say that, but it's still beautiful. I still love it. They do it for a reason. And this is actually Absolute Batman's first number 1 issue so far, even though I think we've had at least 1 or 2 covers in the top 3, definitely in an honorable mention or so. So I'm going to show you this one more time. Standing over the city with his chest plate axe ready to swing, trying to figure out who in Gotham needs to go. Apparently I believe the origin of Absolute Batman is going to be told in this story. So now, question is, can it challenge for the crown? Or will Poison Ivy, right here, maintain? As always, we go to our live studio audience. All right, people, you ready? You listening? Yeah? Okay. Here we go. First, the challenger. Absolute Batman. Woo! Yeah! Woo! It's a pretty decent response. Now, Poison Ivy, number 28, Jenny Frison variant. Live studio audience, what do you have to say? It's the best one, bro! Who says what? Wow, that... Jeez. I mean, when is this one ever gonna lose? I don't know. And full disclosure, with the holidays, the FOC was pretty late with upcoming weeks, so I don't know. You gotta stay tuned to find out, of course, because just because there are only a couple potential candidates, well, it's more than a couple, but let's say less than usual, doesn't mean that the quality isn't fantastic. So don't skip those videos. But it's going to be really hard to knock this one off. We have it here. in the throne room. Starry Panda Comics. Love it. If you've been watching any of my whatnot sales, you'll have seen the brand new stands. Ah, they're gorgeous. Anyway, thank you for joining me this week. Again, week 15 of Starry Panda Comics, top 3 new comic book covers of the week. I hope you all have a great rest of the weekend and week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.